Hey everyone, this is the Hidden Hero. I'm back today with a special interview guest. We know him as the Spizz, the Spizz Wiz, or Spizzo, whatever, however you spell the legend of your name. I'm going to ask you, by the way, how you got their name, which is, by the way, is very interesting. But the main guy, he's the main man who does the governor of giveaways. And I was very hyped the first time I saw him streaming. And I was just like, damn, he said my name.
I always find that like so ridiculous. There are a few people that have been like, yeah, like, oh, like it's crazy to talk to you, and it's like, what? Like, why? Like, just I'm with everybody else. We're all in this together, baby.
Yeah, but you just have that like commanding voice that's just like, damn, he's so cool, man. But after I get to know you, it's like, yeah, he's a pretty chill dude. I'm not even gonna lie about that.
Yeah, it's like it's not a big deal. It's like I remember when me and my buddy Justin had a layover in Vegas, and Petty lives out in Vegas.
Oh, really?
So I remember inviting him out, and afterwards, he was like, I was like, yeah, wasn't that like weird? Because he was like, I don't know, it's like kind of nerve wracking, like gonna go meet people. And he was like, the only thing I remember is like, yeah, you're just like online, but you're so tall. You're just like so tall. And I was like, I'm not that tall. Like,
damn. Maybe you're making me feel short. I'm 5'9". How tall are you?
I'm only 6'2". Like, but it's like I don't know. He was acting like Dr. Disrespect, like 6'8" or something.
Holy
like, he's
crap.
like, you could see, I could see you from a ways away. Like, all right, like it's like just yeah.
6'2". That's hilarious, man. Dang, you remember your friend I had? He was like 6'3", and I used to call him the tree because that man used to be so damn tall. I was like, bro, can you get the top shelf? He's like, bro, I'll give you a backhand if you say that again.
Get him to pick you up there, like, here you go, like, you can do that.
Yeah,
like, show me some respect.
Exactly. So yeah, so let's get right into these interview questions. Who is the Spizz, and where did the name Spizz come from?
I'm just a guy that likes video production and video games, and yeah, kind of fell into the streaming world. I never used to stream or do anything like that, but and then my name comes from it's the first 4 letters of my last name is Spizz, and so it's like my dad was Spizz when he was in college. My sister, people called her Spizzy at some point, and I went the masculine Spizzo. So,
interesting.
Yeah, it's just always been. Yeah, I've been using some variation of that moniker almost the entire time I've been, gaming.
Very nice. It's a very cool origin story, man. What's funny is like Spizz is so close to this newer generation of the word Riz. So it's kind of like I'm thinking of that half the time.
I didn't even think of that.
So I was like, what the wait? I mean,
Spizz Riz, baby.
Yeah, Spizz Riz every day, man.
It's like that and my favorite morph, the Grizz Spizz.
Mm-hmm. That's a very catchy name. I remember when you first got the morph, the bear morph, which is so funny. How did you come up with A&G, and what is the origin story of A&G?
So A&G originally was Market Square Gaming. I was working for the ARC cryptocurrency company, and they had created a division that was kind of like community education outreach. And so I had started working with that, and towards the end of, I don't know, I want to say like halfway through the year contract, they wanted to do more and more with gaming. So I was kind of heading up the gaming section, I guess, that they were starting. And that was when I first got introduced to streaming and started streaming. And so for a while it was Market Square Gaming. And then when I left that company, I had asked them, like, can I have the channel, if like, unless they're going to keep doing it, because it had already been monetized by that point. And so they were like, yeah, sure, we're not going to be doing that anymore, so you can have it. So I got all of that stuff transferred over, and the name A&G, I didn't actually come up with. Someone who I don't really talk with anymore. Like, we had been throwing around a bunch of different names. I really can't even remember what the other ones were, but I know I wanted an acronym that was you know, like something that just sounded right to me. And ANG, it's like, yeah, it just seems to work. I don't know why ANG I like so much, but yeah, so all NFT gaming came from someone else's suggestion, and it's just like that was it.
Oh,
Like,
that sounds interesting. I could imagine you were just like, when they were done, they were like, "Hey, Spizz, you can have this." He's like, "No, I don't want this. I told you that this is my shit. Get the fuck out. This is my ANG."
my house, bitch.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, but so yeah, and then ANG just stuck. And yeah, the logo, I remember asking one of my buddies, John, everybody knows John. I had asked him, like, because he does graphics design, and that's probably my weakest section of digital media and content creation. And yeah, it was like, I don't know, 5 minutes, the symbol, and I've been using that thing for almost 4 years now.
Wow. I love that symbol. It's very iconic too, man. What is a book or movie that has had a significant impact on you, and why?
I would say I was thinking about this one, because there's a bunch that I do love. As a child, I would say that The Lord of the Rings was a really big one, but for a little more fun, more modern one, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is one that I love, that I've read many times, as well as Ready Player One, and not the movie. Even though the movie's fun, the movie destroyed the soul of the book.
Yes.
Like, because just by the first, like, if anyone who's read the book, the point of the keys is that anybody can find it, and the first key is found on the free access planet. And in the movie, I was like, so if you don't have a vehicle, can't afford the gas, like, and stuff, because there's that scene where he needs to hang out in the back to collect coins so he can refill. It's like, that kind of sucks the actual soul out of the whole point of this thing, because you need like, not everybody has a vehicle, not everybody has the cash to do all of that. And so yeah, the movie, it's still a fun ride, but the book is just phenomenal. Like, it very much resonated with me, being a child of the late 80s, early 90s.
Of course. So that's good that it helped, like, and then I'm assuming this also helped you get more into, I know you've opened some packs. Was it the packs from the Lord of the Rings, I think, you were opening on your trading card? Could you talk a little bit more about, like, how that movie impacted you into the card game a little bit, maybe?
So I had always played Magic. Like, I was playing back in the early 90s with, like, Alpha, Beta, and Arabian Nights and stuff like that.
Okay.
When you could just pick them up, you know, still at the local card shop. And I stopped when I went to college. Or no, when I got sent off to military school, I stopped, like, playing all of that. And then I hadn't done anything with Magic in a really long time, but I heard that the Lord of the Rings were coming out, and I was like, that sounds fun. I want to get the One Ring. And yeah, so I spent way too much money and bought way too many of them, but I got my 5 rings.
They look so cool, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I think Hitman, whenever he comes to visit, I think he's buying one of them. But yeah, I'll eventually sell them all. That's kind of the point. But
of course,
yeah, it kind of snowballed. I won't lie. It's like, let's buy a couple of these, and yeah, now I think I have almost 10,000 cards now.
Jesus Christ,
which is ridiculous. Like, because I scan them all in this, like, in an app, like, it kills me, the like, price tracking of them, because I do plan on selling them, like, eventually. I don't really play anymore, like I would, but yeah, I just, the local card shop here in the new town that I live in doesn't really do that. They do more Warhammer stuff.
If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go and why?
So New Zealand's obviously one with Lord of the Rings. Me and my wife have always wanted to go and kind of travel where they went in the movie, like, to those places for our little nerdum. But I do say, after playing in cryptocurrency games and meeting a lot of people, the Philippines has interested me quite a bit too. Like, particularly with there's no language barrier. Like there are a lot of people that subbed and follow my channel that are from over in the Philippines, and they're all just like really great people.
Oh, really? Wow.
And yeah, so that would be a place that I would like to go. And then like, you know, the standard, like Japan, like who doesn't want to go to Japan?
Of course.
Yeah. But I've been over in Europe and then Mexico, and I don't think Canada counts. It's like Mexico and Canada. It's like our basement and then the attic. But I also live, like 20 or 30 minutes from the Canadian border at this point now.
Oh, okay. I mean, have you ever tried to like check out like any of their great wonders, like Niagara Falls, the Great Canyon, or like?
I've been to the Grand Canyon. I've been to Niagara Falls. I've been to 49 of the 50 states.
No way! What?
Yeah, we did a lot of my aunt and uncle, or my godparents. They didn't have any kids, and they were both teachers, and they like to do outdoorsy stuff and go everywhere, and so. They used to bring me along with them, and so yeah, and I don't count driving through a state as like being there, like at least 24 hours in the state. But yeah, Alaska is the only one that we haven't done, and me and my wife, that's another one that we've very much been interested in doing, a cruise from Washington to Alaska and back.
Very interesting. That's wow, man. You have a lot of you've been around the block, man. I would have never taken you to somebody.
The U.S., sure.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I would say, yeah, but I do have to say, like, a lot of people think that you're going to come to the United States and you're just, like, that's that. Every state has its own different flavor and vibe for the most part, except for a few in the actual Midwest, like North Dakota, South Dakota, like Idaho, Iowa, like. Nothing against those states, but like, come the fuck on. Like, people don't really live here. Like, it's just farmland, man. That's it. Like, come on.
Oh man, we're gonna get so canceled now.
Don't worry, no one lives in those states. It's fine. It's like, yeah.
No, there's no justice like angry mob justice.
There's some good potatoes, though. I guess.
I've heard.
They don't even get that one.
I've heard. That's funny. Oh man, that's a good one. What is a challenge you have overcome in your personal life, and what did you learn from it?
I would say the biggest one is getting dropped off in military school, thinking I was going to grandma's house.
Oh shit! What? Like, so it was a switcheroo?
My parents did not tell me that I was going to military school, and I had my bags packed for Florida because every year we would go visit my grandma and grandpa down in Florida.
Okay.
Like the last, I don't know, like 10 days or something of summer. And so I had all my bags packed for Florida. They had their bags packed with all the shit I'd need at military school. And we just get off on the Indiana Turnpike, and it's like cannon, tower, tank, cannon, tower. It's like, where are we? And they're like, this is your new school, buddy. Like, drop me off. And I didn't see them for, I feel like it was, I don't know, 18 weeks or something like that. I think I had a conversation with them, but I haven't lived at home because of that. I was working. I also like kept getting jobs at the military school at a summer camp. And so I would be a camp counselor as well. So I haven't lived at home since I was 14.
Wow.
So it was the biggest thing that I got over with that was the term "what doesn't kill you makes you stronger" is it just depends on the person, because that place would either make you or break you. Like, luckily it did not break me, but it was an interesting place being thrust into, because there was a lot more, I don't know, like it was a violent place, I guess.
I could imagine.
I would put it.
Yes.
Like, and you kind of get thrown in there and you're on your own. You have no more support system, no family, no friends, and yeah, you just it was quite an adjustment, but it definitely taught me to, rely on yourself, and it teaches you how to work as a team too, because that forces that type of mentality on you. Like every barracks, there were the military games, and there was like honor company and and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I was always kind of a black sheep in the family, so
So
that kind of cemented it.
So they had to straighten you out, basically. That's what they thought.
Yeah, I never had any legal trouble, but I didn't do anything I didn't want to do. And like my parents kind of like, I don't blame them. Like I sent myself there, like after, getting older, reflecting on everything like that.
Oh, okay.
I also imagine, you're dropping your kid off at a place saying that you can't, like, I can't raise him properly. Like I need help, which is also something very difficult that I'm sure they went through. But yeah, it was an experience overall. I would never do it again, but I'd never take it back is, I guess, the experience that I had.
Interesting. I did not expect that coming from you, man. See, this is what I'm saying. Like I'm glad I'm doing this interview because I was like, wow, I would have never suspected you to go to military school. That's crazy.
As Dark Paladin said, like, yeah, I was a problem child. Just mouth off. I mean, like my mom. I remember my mom saying a story where I was, I don't know, like 12 or something like that, and I was taller than her at that point, and she was like, I wanted to go outside like with my friends, and she was like, no, you have to go like clean your room, and I was just like, make me.
Oh.
And it's like, yeah, like I don't know where any of that came from, but it was like that was how it was in the past. And so my mom was like, I can't make him do it. Like he's like, but yeah, I was a little shit.
Dark Paladin asks, what was your friend circle like back then in that situation?
Before I went to military school, I definitely was hanging around with not a great crowd. I know of the 4 people that I was hanging around with, one went to jail.
Oh,
and one got deported.
Fuck? What?
At least that's what I remember hearing. Like I don't keep up with them anymore. But I also had a good group of friends that at the same time that were living on my block, like that are still my very close friends today. Like John, I've known since I was 2 years old. I've got my buddy Justin that I've known since when I would come back and stuff to visit after military school and stuff like that during high school, because I wasn't there fully year round, but I would have a few weeks here or there back at my parents' place, and we would, run around and make videos and stuff like that. And I know Justin is the friend I would probably attribute to getting me into video production and stuff like that.
Oh,
he was always making videos.
Wow, John sounds like a very important person in your life, more or less. Like it's a good, guest role model, I guess.
John, I always, John likes to relish on when me and John first met. We were at a preschool called Meadowbrook Farms.
Okay.
And apparently he came up to me and he was like, do you want to play tag? And I said, no. And then 5 minutes later, I went up to him and was like, do you want to play tag? And then we had been friends ever since. There were a few years where we didn't hang out that often, but overall, it's like, yeah, I've lived with John. John was my my college dorm roommate the first year. But yeah, it's been like, yeah, I've got a circle of friends that I've known for most of my life.
What are your hobbies?
I feel like we've gone over, like, a lot of them were, video games, recently Magic. Like, I'm very big into movies.
Sure. Top 3. What are the top 3 real quick? What's the top 3 questions for hobbies?
3. There'll Be Blood is always up there. Gangs of New York, Thing.
Oh, yes.
The original The Thing.
Jesus, damn. That got dark fast.
It's like, I love me some... My favorite era of cinema is 80s. 80s over-the-top ridiculous horror. Like, I enjoyed... I really am not a huge fan of CG. And that's kind of all there is. And the 80s was the last time where most studios couldn't do CGI yet. And so practical effects were used. Practical effect movies.
What's funny for me was whenever I saw The Thing, right? I swear I got scarred the day when I saw that poor dog just ran into this farm.
Oh my god!
And if you've seen the scene, no spoilers, but if you people have seen The Thing, you should know. Do not talk to that dog. Do not talk to that dog ever. And I was talking to my brothers back in the day. I asked them when I saw that thing. I said, "Okay, no offense, this thing is quite literally more threatful than Freddy and Jason put together, and even what was his name, Chucky as well. All three of those guys, they're nothing compared to that thing, quite literally.
Like one cell is all it takes to that one. I like to one of my buddies that he's Finnish, and he like speaks Finnish, and in the beginning of the movie it tells the whole story.
Yeah,
if you know the language, because he's like, it's not a dog, it's like it's an alien, like don't touch it, don't get away from it. And so he was like, yeah, like it wasn't very like hidden, like it was kind of, there was no arc to it. And I was like, what do you mean? Like figuring out that this thing, he's like, yeah, but the beginning, the first like practical lines of the movie is saying that the dog's an alien.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I don't speak Finnish, and it didn't fucking there's no subtitles, like, so I had no idea. It just sounded like this crazy dude with a gun trying to kill the dog. But yeah, I love that one. But yeah, There Will Be Blood is just from doing film classes and cinematography stuff. It's like, that thing is just a beautiful homage to being able to tell a story. Like, there's no talking in the first like 30 minutes of the movie, and it progresses.
Yes.
Like quite a bit of the story, which I always found quite impressive. And the fire pillar scene,
yes,
is just gorgeous.
It is very well shot.
Yeah, and then Gangs of New York is one of my favorite directors is Scorsese. Leonardo DiCaprio is one of my favorite actors, and Daniel Day-Lewis is my favorite actor. And it was like, I get all three of them. The only problem with that movie is Cameron Diaz.
Okay.
He's got no business being in that movie, in my opinion.
What computer equipment or brand do you recommend when streaming YouTube or just streaming in general? Because this could help, newcomers who wants to maybe get into, streaming YouTube content, or maybe do Lost Relic or whatever.
So everybody goes with just straight OBS, and I do think that OBS is the more valuable streaming system, but it can be overwhelming and intimidating because it kind of reminds me of Linux. If you know how to program it, it can do everything and anything that you want it to do, but you have to know how to program it. At one point, I switched over to Streamlabs because I was having problems with some of my new equipment, and Streamlabs was just like good to go. And so I've been using Streamlabs ever since, because there's nothing that I desperately needed that Streamlabs wasn't providing. So Streamlabs is just plug and play.
Of course.
That's the one, though. The biggest thing that I would say also, if you want to get into that type of stuff, is a good microphone goes a very long way. Yes.
Which one do you have, if you mind me asking?
I use a Shure MV7. So it's like it's essentially the one, like it's the digital version of like the Joe Rogan podcast uses MV7B, and I think mine's an MV7i.
And I also notice you have Audio Technica headphones, right?
I do. These are the newer ones. I got those for the no quality law. I do have to say they don't sound as nice as some of my other ones. I used to use the Revolver. What heck company was that? Razer, like Revolver, was the one that I was using. They were much more comfy, but these ones have, the highest quality of sound when you're editing stuff, and you kind of need the perfect dynamic range.
Of course, that's definitely true.
And then I also like I was using a Brio 4K webcam, and then I eventually switched over to, I use a DSLR as a webcam now.
Yeah, I mean, it shows. You look way more handsome with a nice beard, man. Someone else I mentioned, where did the beard come from? I remember someone was a question earlier.
I come a long line of Reddits. My mom's side is very Irish, and so my dad has black hair. My mom, like great grandpa, had red hair, Yeah, it's just the whole Irish side always had red hair. And yeah, I'm just glad I got a little bit of a darker tone of it. Like the super light redhead is not a pretty look for everybody.
Yeah, I could imagine. It's like someone poured orange juice on your face or something. Like, Jesus,
like,
nah, this looks better.
Looking like fucking Carrot Top or something. Like, nah.
No, that would be terrible. No, we don't want that. No, we don't want that for this business. No. This man,
Nobody
you look.
wants.
You know what's funny? I could imagine you in a freaking what do you call those people? The wood chopping people advertisement, just with an axe and just. I forgot the name, but I could see like an advertisement like that, just chopping out down wood.
Like, yeah, lumberjacking it up.
There you go.
I was laughing the other day at door-to-door, or like not the other day, like a couple months ago, a door-to-door salesman came and he like was acting really weird at first, and he was like, "I'm so sorry, like it was the train, like I thought you were Andrew Santino."
What the?
Like, I don't know if you know who that is, but like, yeah, he's a comic, and I do look very similar to him. Not exactly there, but you know, we live in a nice neighborhood, and he was like, I thought it was Andrew Santino. Like, I'm a big fan of him.
Wow.
Or, you know, it's like, all right.
What is your favorite food, and what is your least favorite food?
Oh man, I gotta go with like any pastas.
Any pastas?
Yeah, they're all delicious. Like what we just made last night, we made just a bomb ass carbonara. It's like, yeah, it's phenomenal. But that is one thing my wife has elevated quite a bit in my life. She loves to cook, and she's, you know, it's a thorn in the bank account at times, but she likes to get very, very high quality food and cook things from scratch.
Oh wow, that's a great wife.
So,
wow.
Yeah, and she's always ready to make anything all the time.
That's great. That's amazing to hear that.
Yeah.
Making pasta. And so then what don't you like? Just curious.
One that's odd that I don't like despise it or anything, but everybody likes lobster. I think lobster's trash.
Oh shit.
I think why crab is so much better than lobster. In
wow.
My opinion. I'll eat it, but I'm not looking forward to like lobster half the time.
If you could change one thing about the world, what would it be and why?
I would like more people to look after dogs.
Oh,
I would like, because you know, obviously there's a everybody love everybody type of crap, but I love animals, and dogs in particular. Like I've got 3 of them, and we've had them my whole life. Like when I was growing up, my parents were a rehab home for the collie rescue agency, so we'd have like upwards of like 4 or 5 dogs at a time, and they would, you know, come in and leave. But yeah, like treat dogs or animals in general better.
Of course.
Like the puppy mills and all that crap, like, just makes me sick, like, essentially. And I had tried to do a thing where I was trying to get a few companies that were doing blockchain and NFT stuff to do animal NFTs that would be pictures of dogs in shelters, and when you buy them, part of the profits would go to helping the shelter and that dog in particular. Like if you bought a $10 NFT, $5 of it gets like a chew toy to the dog or something.
Yeah, that would be incredible. My God.
I tried to do that. I couldn't find many to sign up with it. I know that I had talked with Cliff where he made I have a custom pet in Lost Relics of my dog that passed last year.
Oh.
And he was like, at one point, it was thrown around the idea of it being buyable in the store, and he was like, I'll share, you know, some of it with you, and I was like, I'd rather have half of it get donated to, like, you know, it's an Australian-based game, so donate half of everything that gets sold to one of the animal shelters, like over there. But that is yet to come to fruition. Who knows if it's still a thing, or what will ever happen with it.
When did you first start playing Lost Relics, Spizz?
I want to say, I knew it the other day, actually. I want to say September of 2000
September 2000, which year? 2020
or
or
2020, I'm pretty sure.
okay.
It wasn't like Forgotten Artifacts or anything like that, but it was, yeah, it's been at least 3 to 4 years that I've been playing Lost Relics.
That's crazy. Shoot, I didn't even know the name was called Hidden Lost Artifacts, or Forgotten Artifacts is it called?
Yeah. When I discovered it, I was when I first was doing Market Square Gaming stuff. They wanted me to be playing with another employee, and so we were restricted to just co-op games, and there aren't a ton.
All right.
Or particularly back then as well. And so I had just kind of stumbled out because I was like, these like basic searches, like top 10 blockchain games, type of thing. And Lost Relics kept popping up on most of these lists. And so I eventually looked into it, and I was, I'm a huge fan of Diablo. And so it was like, oh, this is like Diablo and blockchain, like sold. And eventually I had convinced the Market Square people to, like, there's not a lot of options for co-op, and let me do some single player stuff. And so yeah, Lost Relics came to be, and that's when it kind of popped into my life. I played it for a little bit before I was able to stream it, but yeah, I haven't looked back since.
Why did you want to become the governor of giveaways, or did it just happen?
It kind of well, I guess like the way that started was I had done a giveaway through Market Square,
right,
and we ended up, I think it ended up being like $1,500 was the first giveaway, and 900 of it was spent on gas fees.
Wow.
At the time, because like it just happened to be a like the perfect storm of shit. Like, 'cause this was before the in-game marketplace, which is also like why the in-game marketplace exists in Lost Relics, is like because of the gas fees. And we had happened to do the giveaway on a day that there was just a massive jump in the GUI. And so, and you can't, we're trying to establish ourselves as some legitimate thing. And so you can't be like, all right, congratulations on winning, we'll send it to you when the gas fees are lower. Like, you have to just send it out. And so I ended up then contacting Cliff, and I was like, look, is there any way that I can purchase these items? Because he had then started to allow items to be brought into the game. And I was like, is there any way if I bring the items in, you will transfer them? And because I was like, they're fine with paying another $1,500, but if we're spending more, like, we could spend the full $1,500 on the community instead of half of it on gas fees. And so we had worked out a system where, yeah, I would run these giveaways, and I would then record everything in a certain style that he wanted, and then ship him out that, and he would facilitate the transfers of all the items. Which, eventually led to all of the content creators, giveaways, options, and everything like that. So I was the guinea pig for all of that. And then the name, the Governor Giveaways, came from, I was getting ready to interview Cliff, and we were talking before the interview. And I was like, just so you know, I'm going to put you on blast, and I'm going to ask you directly live, like, will you give me the title, the Governor of Giveaways? And he then stopped talking for about 5 minutes, and I was like, oh, all right. Like, what?
What the fuck?
I was just kidding. I don't have to do that. I was kind of just testing the waters, like, kind of deal. And he was like, just log back in and check your titles. And so I got the one of one. I feel like the only transcendent one of one.
Of course.
In the game. But yeah, so the Governor of Giveaways was born off of that, and it just sounded good.
Of course. What is your favorite relic or relics? Because I know if I ask you one, it'd be too hard. So I'll give you like the amount. So 6.
I like, in all honesty, the Archers is probably one of the best relics
Agreed.
in the game. It's hard to get around that one. I really, really love the Snapdragon.
Really?
That's my most recent one that has improved my my John Wick build quite a bit. But yeah, that's another one where it's the Pico, but it works for melee and ranged. So it doubles your attack speed for 30 seconds. And yeah, I've been just loving the stacking those two together.
Awesome.
And then, I mean, I was very, very pleased with me holding on to the Legion's Fall, because I had gotten the Legion's Fall and it was a horrible item.
No, it really was.
It was fucking trash.
It really was.
And I had just held on to it for so long, and now it's, you know, by far the best energy item in the game.
Of course.
I know my favorite weapon is definitely the Gilded Seraphim.
Really? It's really good.
I mean, that's the bow that there's only 10 of them in the game.
Yes.
I got one of them. I got it for free.
And I think you have a chance to double your damage for 10% chance, I think.
10% chance to double damage. So you can just do regular shooting people. And if you pair it with the Nightingale Nexus, you can get yourself at least 12,000 to 15,000 damage from just a basic attack.
Did you coin the term, or how did you discover the build, or did some other player like give you the build and you just coined it John Wick? Just curious.
No, I was it was me and Hitman, and we were kind of talking, and I don't know if he or I had mentioned like I want to do like some like John Wick in the game, and I was like, that's interesting. Like, there's got to be a way to build something that's kind of close to that, and so I spent some time, and I was like, I'm just gonna go for speed and efficiency of damage, and yeah, then I was like the John Wick build, like, because you can just sit there and one shot almost everybody, and then when you use, I used to think it was super fast with the Pico. Now I can, you know, double the Pico, like,
yeah,
so like, yeah, now it's like even faster. But yeah, it was kind of like, don't get hit, or you can't get hit if you kill everything immediately, like, and so it's like, screw the health, let's just go in like John Wick and pop, like just kill everybody in one shot.
What is your current goal in Lost Relics right now?
I want to get to being able to prestige.
To get to the next level.
20. Yeah.
Very good.
I just want to experience those low levels again. Like, how quickly can you level? Like, I'm at the point where it's like, I'll see you in a month and I'll get a level.
Oh my
like,
God.
Yeah, type of deal. And because it's, you know, over 1 million experience needed to like progress to the next one.
I know you're paid, brother.
Yeah, it's just like, oh my God, you could play all day or something. Like, I've been doing so many Frostfall sieges. Like, someone was apparently like talking about it the other day. It's like, I feel like I might have done the most, like, of people, because I've done well over 100 Frostfall sieges.
Wow.
And you know, it's just was such an easy way to get EXP. I can get one done in less than 5 minutes. So you can, you know, I do the rotation of 2, and you get 20,000 EXP, and then you also get, you know, like a massive amount of gathering EXP because of those books.
Of course,
and occasionally it throws you a bone of a blockchain. Like, I've gotten a couple 40 engine worth blockchains from it.
What are some suggestions would you tell Cliff to improve Lost Relics? Now, this is going to be let's see, what do you say?
Oh man. I'll be honest, like, other than the obvious, like, co-op.
Yes.
Like, co-op, like, another one that's, I guess, a little less obvious, but still kind of obvious is, I really do think that he needs to start doing some marketing. Because there's zero marketing for the game. Engine Official has recently started joining my streams and stuff, and they've been in contact with me about giving me early access to more engine-based games, to like test out and make reviews for, that they're going to be posting on their main channels and their website and everything like that. And they've started to do the same thing with Straker, who also was my Sherpa into Lost Relics when I first showed up. Striker took me under his wing and showed me the ropes.
Yes.
So I'm always showing love to that guy. He's great. But yeah, they've we're gonna like they were asking. I'll probably end up recording some clips from tonight, my stream later today that they're gonna be pumping out on Twitter and stuff like that, or X, whatever the hell it's called now.
Yeah, I know.
It's still Twitter. Like I don't care what you name it.
Yeah, I agree. What am I gonna? I'm gonna X a tweet. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, like the fuck. What is that? Send to my ex. Like, what did you say? Like, no, honey, not like that. No, but
Oh my gosh.
so there's that. But yeah, marketing like co-op. Though, if I'm being really honest, ever since there was a certain exodus of the dev team.
Yes.
I think that the game has been moving at a significantly faster pace of providing new stuff to do, exploring more of the stuff that I know. I've had many conversations with Cliff, offline and stuff like that. And the game is nowhere where it wasn't the game that he wanted to make, essentially. And he's now able to bring a lot of these random other things like the nightmare dungeons that are going to be coming up where it's like go deeper, get a higher reward chance, or leave. That was initially that was Forgotten Artifacts, was that it was just, like old school Diablo. You just keep going deeper.
Exactly.
And you leave when you want, and he's able to reincorporate those things. And it just seems like the quality of life improvements, like, we've gotten the new town, we've got the Frostfall Siege, the Echoes of Time. It's just they're rolling out significantly faster. Whatever he's doing right now is keep it up.
Yeah, fantastic. I couldn't agree more. What is your greatest achievement in life?
Man, I don't still being here. I don't know. Most recent one is definitely the 1 million views, but the greatest achievement in life, I don't know. Maybe the luckiest would have been when I converted all of my stock savings into Bitcoin when it was under 10,000.
Holy shit.
And so it was just like, yeah, money has not been much of an issue after that point. It's like, cause got those coins, baby.
Oh my gosh, that's probably sound like the best achievement ever. You just dumped everything into Bitcoin and it just shot to the moon.
Risk, yeah, and then it was like, all right, we'll take a 6x return on practically everything. Yeah, that'll work. And like, yeah, a few months. But yeah, no, I don't know. I guess graduating college is up there. Like, marrying my wife. Like,
of course.
It's like general standard milestones. I guess one of my greatest privileges was having the opportunity to have my last dog, Riley. Like that guy was, I got him. I had gotten fired from my job.
Oh,
I
wow.
had like $300 to my name. And I decided to spend 150 of it to go drive hours to go pick up this dog.
Wow.
That I did not know if I was going to be able to feed or whatever. And yeah, it was like I always remember the first night, I didn't have a crate or anything like that. And he was just wailing I had kind of like put him in the bathroom and put a chair to block the bathroom so that, if he, peed himself in the middle of the night or whatever, and I didn't wake up, like it would at least be on tile.
Right.
And he wouldn't shut up. So I went and slept on the floor with him. And we were inseparable. He was the best dog. He trained himself.
Oh, wow.
Like he just knew what you wanted him to do all the time.
Wow.
Yeah, that was, I'd give up some coins for a few more weeks with that guy.
What makes you like Lost Relics more than other blockchain games?
One of the biggest ones was the community by far. When I was doing Market Square Gaming, I was testing, I ended up testing over like 100 games that they would pay for me to have access to. And I was testing anything and everything that was a blockchain game, trying to find something that was, worthwhile and viable for a stream. And the Lost Relics community one where, if you ask for help, you got 6 people trying to help you. Everyone was super inviting and welcome, where I did not share that experience where Gala Games, like Splinterlands and those communities you'd kind of ask them stuff and they were the get good crowd type of mentality. Where it was like, how did I do this? Like, get good. And it's like, well, thanks, fucker. Like, that doesn't fucking help. Like, it's not cool at all.
What is your favorite game on the PlayStation 2?
Oh, Twisted Metal Black.
But why?
Twisted Metal. I like Twisted Metal was my first introduction to PlayStation and PlayStation 2. Like, I still have one that it still works. I don't know how it still works. It's like the PlayStation 2 was built like a fucking howitzer. Like, that thing just works perpetually. But yeah, that was my first introduction, and then there hadn't been one in so long, and then yeah, PlayStation 2 had Twisted Metal Black, and God, I loved that game. I guess also too, I was very heavy into the Call of Duty franchise by PlayStation 2.
Thank you so much for tuning into the stream, everybody. And we have the Spizz here. Fantastic. And it's an honor to have him here. And any last words you want to say before we close this chapter for now?
Yeah, cheers, people at home. Happy hunting out there, everybody.
Fantastic. And never forget, everybody, to follow your arrow. Take care.